the record label censored off the record, and so I had to do something. I had to get creative. So we figured if we leaked the song in 2-second pieces, and we did it over a long enough period of time where the label wouldn't figure out what we were doing, by the time it was fully released, they'd have to. I mean, it would be too late, and then they would hopefully forgive us, which they did, because I made a few more records with that label. But yeah, it was because it wound up being great marketing for the record. I mean, the label they forgave us, which just goes to prove they forgave us. Why? Because the record sold better, so it made more money. Which again, I always like to say that the word Christian, when applied to anything other than a human being, is a marketing term. That's all that it is. It cannot mean the same thing when you are talking about Christian radio, Christian music, Christian, institutions and education, Christian books, Christian breath mints, all the things that are Christian in the world, other than people. The word cannot mean what it means when you're talking about people. The Christian things, Christian stuff, is not the only stuff that will be in heaven. But Christian people, as far as I understand it, are supposed to be the only people who are going to be in heaven. It cannot mean the same thing. It just can't. Right, true, good, beautiful, redeemed. It cannot mean that about breath mints. It cannot mean that about music. It cannot mean that about radio stations. It can't. And so it just goes to prove, because the label, they were happy at the end because they made more money. And it forgave that it had language in it that they didn't like, or ideas in it that they didn't like. It wasn't really that they were the Christian record labels are not the moral bodyguards of culture. They're businesses, like everything else. Let me tell you what there is not Christian and secular of: money. It's all the same thing. And so, yeah, it was, they forgave me. But this song was important. I thought it was the most important song on the record, and they weren't going to let me put it on there. And, and it's about the inconsistencies that we find in our language when we talk about what we believe. Versus it's like the beliefs we tell people we have, and then the beliefs you can observe that we actually have from our behavior. And when those things get out of harmony with each other, and they get inconsistent with each other, when you say you believe one thing, but you behave in a way as though you don't believe that, and you believe something else. You're depending on something else in practice than you are with what you're saying. It can make you feel nuts, and you get out of sync. You get disintegrated with yourself, and you don't even realize the inconsistency in the language you're using. And this song came from me seeing a particularly flagrant example of that, in my opinion. I heard a very big evangelical preacher on NPR, and I just couldn't believe one sentence to the next. I couldn't believe how inconsistent what he was saying was, and it drove me kind of nuts. And so I wrote this. And I got nearly sued by his big Christian college that he runs. I don't know if you ever heard of Jerry Falwell, but
Sorry.
Jerry Falwell Jr., who was not yet the president of Liberty University, but he almost was, had their head of council send me a cease and desist about this song and the stories that I was telling about this song when I would play it publicly and stuff, and told me I have like a 6-page letter from their legal counsel, head of legal counsel, telling me what they were going to do to me if I didn't stop playing it. And my lawyer and I responded, said we weren't going to do that. They could just sue me. Because it would, and I was like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the story of David and Goliath, but guess which one you are in this story. And I have Twitter followers. Like, I'll do a GoFundMe and it'll be great for my career. Please sue me. Like, anyways. But we had a moment. I was so mad that they didn't. That would have been such a great story. So here it is. And it's called What Matters More. You say you always treat people like you like to be. I guess you love being hated for your sexuality. You love when people put words in your mouth about what you believe, make you sound like a freak. 'Cause if you really believe what you say you believed, you wouldn't be so damn reckless. The words you speak wouldn't silently consent when the liars speak, denying all the dying of the remedy. Tell me, brother, what matters more to you? Sister, what matters more to you? If I can tell what's in your heart by what comes out of your mouth, then it sure looks to me like being straight is all it's about. Oh, it looks like being hated for all the wrong things, while like chasing the wind while the pendulum swings. Cause we can talk and debate till we're blue in the face about the language and tradition that he's coming to save. Meanwhile we sit just like we don't give a shit about 50,000 people who are dying today. So tell me, brother, what matters more to you? Sister, what matters more to you? Brother, what matters more to you? Sister, what matters more to you? Tell me what matters more to you? Brother, what matters more to you? Thank you.